So tracing back to the story of how we started Talent Quest for India. Uh, this is I'm from a very small town in Tamil Nadu near Tuticorin. So that's where I'm born and brought up. So during my 8th standard, itself when my history or political teacher was talking about Indian history and Indian political science, so that in itself is the biggest inspiration that we got freedom with a lot of struggle and we want to do something back to the country. So that thought was ingrained from there on, and then our friends, we used to sit in a circle, and then my friends were the greatest motivation. They used to say that what we can do, how we can go. So we do stuff. We come up with small events in the school itself, like to have a small undial during Diwali and Pongal, collect friends and start doing that. And then when during snack period we see that people eat samosas and put it down, not in the dustbin, but we go and put a small drive. And they used to see my friends used to circle around me and then ask what we can do, what's your aim, what you want to do for the country, how we can do. So that was all started, and that patriotism, that asking more questions from my friends, and my even I remember, that time my friends were saying that at that time there was no Nobel Peace Prize for an Indian citizen. So it was Kailash Satyarthi ji got it now, but at that time we should get that. For so a lot of patriotism and all this being inbuilt, and that's why my mail ID also is created by one of my friend. I was not having computer at my home. It's Great India underscore 2025 ram at yahoo.co.in. So 2025 we had that kind of a vision and all those stuff during that time. So that's for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th I came to Chennai, where a major incident which made me to introspect a lot and made me to start Talent Quest for India. So my school had a competition where one of the company came after my 11th standard exams, and then they conducted a coding competition. I'm a part of computer stream. So one of the friend from my next class is very good at coding. So what he used to do, I'm not a part of his class or a team, but he got to know me, and we used to chat, but very occasionally. But during the project tenure and everything, he used to call and share me if he get a code, Macha, I got the code, I'm so happy. And whenever he feels low, he used to call, and then he was doing that. So that was happening for 1.5 months, and then his team won the project, went to nationals. We were all so happy. But after the 12th public exam, he introduced me to his mother. That made me to introspect a lot. He said to me, "Mom, this is Ram, who was and who will be responsible for my victory in life." So that statement has actually made me to introspect what I did to him. I didn't do anything to him. What made you to say that profound statement? Then I understood what I did to him was non-judgmentally listen to him and then appreciate him. So with these two core values, I thought right now youth need a ear to listen and a gentle tap on the shoulder. So that's where I understood the importance of listening. My mom was a government school teacher, and after my 12th standard, I went to a village and then go to a government school class, and then I asked each of their dreams. And then I was going out, and students were coming running Ramana, Ramana, your autograph. So that's where I thought, where my inspiration scored, like when Abdul Kalam said that when your signature became autograph, you did something. That also I didn't do anything. What I did was just listen to them. So that's where I thought that the current generation need a ear to listen, a gentle tap on the shoulder. So that's where the Talent Quest for India was started, conceived as a concept. Then when I come to my engineering days, what I started doing is whenever I meet a person or a student, I used to ask him what is your dream, what is your hobby. That's become my first year, second year thing. I started connecting. So I started connecting students who have similar interests. So I might have listened to a lot of people. I go back to my room and write it. So for example, Krishna has good at robotics and Madhu has good at robotics. I start connecting the like-minded people. So that's where it has all been happening during my college days, and ask them to go to competitions and everything. During listening to one of the student from again a government school from a nearby rural area, Chennai coming to do an engineering, they all had this problem when we listen. They all had that. One is the fear over English and the stage fear. So, these are the two common problems that we have identified while listening to them. So that's where we designed our first program, called Express. The first program called Express. Basically, what we did, we friends came together, prepared a gamified version of module, where converting Rajinikanth punch dialogues into English and small news reading activity, and then went to the hostel and started conducting these sessions for the juniors over there, and that has become started spreading, and many students come and participated, and we took that program to the nearby school in our college. And then one of the corporate also came in nearby, got to know one of us through our senior, and for their junior engineers and operators also we started doing this express program. So that's how the initial thought process of story behind TQI and stuff. So I'll stop here. Maybe another question, then I'll go to the project for you.
Right. So, sir, like, is it just you who is handling the entire thing right now, or are your friends helping you as of now?
Okay. So the thing is, Talent Quest for India CC is now over 10 years of volunteering movement that we are doing. So I have two other co-founders. No one is a full-timer in our organization right now. I have another job to do. Another co-founder is working in a pharmaceutical. Another person is in Netherlands. He's also working. So no one is a full-timer here. Everyone is a volunteer, and we have a robust structure in place because we believe that even volunteering needs to be done with a lot of commitment and structure. And uh, we are so this was a concept. The whole concept runs in we connect the local college students to the local school students, where they become bhaias, didis, annas, akkas, mentors for the children over there. So that's how our basic philosophy, the whole structure comes in. So to answer your question of how we are running the organization, I'll just move directly to that slide. Mm. Yeah, so if you see each of the district, we have present in 30 districts in Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka, including Karnataka, and then Mumbai and Pune, we have a very small team. So what the whole thing is that each district or each unit is run by the college team will have a single point of contact or a person who leads the team, and then he reports to a club of the district, will reports to a zonal head who is again a college student who might have in his previous year been a district mentor, have run an organization, been a part of that. And there is a project manager, again a college student who have been a previous year was zonal head and district mentor. And each team will have his internal students taking the role of finance and media, and we have a quality manager, finance head. These are all run by purely by college students, youth on ground voluntarily, and they report to the core team, which are us, consist of us, and also people who has actually through our journey, these college students who are now working in corporate, they consist of core team where they make the decision. So we run it in a very, very organized way.
Right. So, where are you working right now, and where are the other founders associated? Which firms are they associated with?
Okay, so I am working in a company called Brilio in Bangalore, a technology-based company, and another co-founder Kandavel, he is in pharmaceutical industry in Bangalore, and Madhusudan, he completed his postgraduate in Netherlands, and he is working in a company in Netherlands, Booking.com. He's working there.
All right. So, sir, I guess all of these jobs are full time, right? Like where you all are working. So, how do you manage to a full time job, and this volunteering, like you said, requires a lot of dedication. So, how do you manage that?
So, that's been out of practice since my 11th standard. So it's all been past. So I was completed my engineering and then worked in a company for 2.3 years as a software engineer and process consultant. Then I did my MA development from Azim Prince University. And the last 1 year I'm working with Brilio. Now, all these years, TK was running parallelly. So my job take, for example, till 7 or 8, it works. And then night till from that point up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, initially to building that so thing. And weekends, what I do during physical times is that I used to travel to districts and meet teams in weekends. So all my weekends will be booked on travel, where I travel and then I do that. Now the team has evolved and we got a lot of leaders, and you see the structure has evolved. So I have weekly sync up call with zonal heads and core teams, zonal heads and project managers, and they update me. So we have a culture of saying that no one is tracking no one, everyone is updating everyone. So that's how we want to, because we don't want to follow an hierarchy stuff, because I also update what I did. So for example, in today's Sunday meeting, I'm going to say that I spoke in 30 states, someone interview. So I also update what and all I do the whole week to the whole team. So that's how we are being working.
Right. So, sir, did you ever feel that that the volunteering requires more time and more effort? And do you plan to make this volunteering and working for this firm the full time thing?
Okay, this has been a question in my head, and also the other co-founders debate and all these things. But the whole point of TQI running on a whole voluntary mode in itself is a USP of it. What do you say? Because see, what has been a beauty of it? See, the whole volunteering journey of people has been a learning process. So if you see, we have structured in a way that the college student will learn Excel, PPT, leadership skills, soft skills, everything by being a volunteer in TQI. So it is kind of helping him to develop his skills. So rather than as a full time, when we do as a part time, when money is not much involved, we want to prove that even without a much of a budget involved, much of a money involved, with a pure volunteering sense, we can create magic. We can do real good impact if good people comes
Right.
around. So that's a whole thing USP. But full time, yeah, we have been debating, discussing. I don't know when that's gonna happen. I don't know.
Okay, all right. So like you said, just by volunteering, you can create an impact. So, can you tell me a few instances where you've seen visible impact happening in on the ground level?
Okay. There are a lot of stories, and I can also send you one link of that book. So, one of the co-founder has written the 3 years journey as documented as one book as stories. I can send you that.
Okay.
So, few incidents happen. So, all I said now, these teams where district have formed, we have formed a team. So, when I remember when we in 2013, when we want to start connecting local college students to local school students to go and take classes. For 9th and 12th, we focus on soft skills. For 6 to 8, we focus on science program and do that. When we conceptualize that, we have not approached any college management top down. So it is all friends of friends of friends of friends of friends. I remember in 2013, I made in a month around 500 calls, connected to my friends, building that network, and then they brought their friends, and those were happening. And that is how organically this has been growing, right? So that it took us a lot of time. The friends and comes in and they take up the next call. The junior comes and they take the responsibility. So that's how it has been running. So volunteering, so people who are really interested are the one who comes in and then they take it up, and the family is also involved. That's the beauty of it. So even the families are also involved. So one instance is when we said that we want to form a team in a particular district. One of the student who got to know about TQI, he went to his principal and then said that so and so TQI is there. I want to take a form a team and we're going to plan these. The college principal told no, not possible. He again went second time. Again, principal said not possible. Again, he went not possible. The next time he went and asked that, the principal asked why you are coming again, what you really want. Okay, so that person said that college student said that, see, you always said that the student wants to take responsibility. Give us a chance.
Yeah.
So that's how the principal was okay, good, and then gave them a chance, and that person formed a team in that particular district, and now the whole college is participating in all of our events for the past 6 years. And
Okay.
later we came to know that particular student whom we contacted to Friends of Friends 2 days before was attempting a suicide.
Okay. All right.
So what we have been, when the youth is given, so if we say what I did in TQI, I didn't do anything. So that's why, it's all the students from tier 2, tier 3 colleges. There has been a lot of restrictions for them. There has been, they want to do many things, but the right amount of opportunity or the exposure is what lacking to them. When you give that freedom and kind of motivate them, they are coming up with a lot of ideas, and each of our team, they prepare their own calendar, what they want to do in a year, and then submit to us, and we just review it and want to support. So that's why we want to create socially responsible leaders, which is our vision. So the creating
Right.
socially responsible leaders, yeah, that is one
So,
instance.
do you also have to travel a lot for managing all these places and everywhere, or are these the volunteers who are doing it on their own?
So, as I said, we have a robust structure to manage, updates and everything, being beautifully managed by them. So, see, every, we run on WhatsApp offices. We call WhatsApp offices. Each district has a WhatsApp group. We run on that. All our tracking mechanism, thanks to Google, all online sheets.
Okay.
So it is all been, we have been using technology well before, this COVID, because we have been working all these things. But I personally travel to weekends to listen to these volunteers. What is they learning? If they want to share something, I go. Most of our meetings in the districts happens at the terrace of a volunteer's home, where I also
Okay.
get to interact with the families and build a relationship, because that's how the volunteering culture starts in, and a lot of things happens. Yeah. I travel a lot. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Like, can you tell me, like, I saw on the website that you pick one cause for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was water conservation for a year, and then
Yeah, sure.
yeah, it was water conservation and food, like hunger issues, right?
Yeah. So 1 year, 1 cause is one of the project that we do as part of social awareness. So what is that? We pick one cause for the whole year, and our volunteers will do activities in their colleges, communities, in the schools that we are going, different kind of programs. So 2017 was water conservation. So the students did a lot of seminars in their college, talked about it, conducted competitions. The schools that we are going, they went and conducted competition on water conservation. So a lot of things they did. 2018 was Thank Our Heroes Farmers. If you see the second pic there, what our volunteers did, they went to a nearby village where the school was present, or nearby village to their college, spent 1 day time with the farmers to understand what is really farming. To understand, they made a painting, hand painting to them and gifted them. So they also went onto the field. You see this pic, this is one of engineering team students who went on to the ground with them, then understand what is cultivation, and that's how give them a real-time experience. And as a 1920 was no food waste. Then now they understood how difficult it is to create, make food, right? So now we next is no food waste. It's a continuous no food waste, where again our volunteers, conducted a lot of activities, campaigns on no food waste in their schools, communities. And then this year, now they understood the importance of water, the person who's making it, and then we should not waste. Now we need to start making food. So that's where the gardening we pick it up for 2021. So now during the lockdown, our volunteers have been doing gardening in their home and motivating their neighbors, and also conducting a lot of online sessions on different gardening methodologies and stuff. Actually, we want to do it in the schools that we are going, the government schools that we are going, to create a nutrition garden where we involve the school children also in the farming. So that's a whole idea that we made it, but maybe next year we do it. But this year, 2021-22, we have decided our 1 year, one cause is going to be mental health. So already we have started because a lot of things are happening on the, for the volunteers and so. So mental health has been a major focus. We plan to do many events for that.
Yeah. Right. So like, when you arrange all these seminars and when you go reach out to these young kids, like, what is the impact that was there if we talk about these causes? Like, if we talk about water conservation, so what are a few changes that you were able to bring in the society?
So, if you want to say on the qualitative part of it, the qualitative part of it, the students are more aware of what, that why it is important to save water. And, we bring in ideas from the children, right? We conduct a drawing competition or a speaking competition in that school. We try to bring their narrative of what is according to water. So one of the competition that happened was what according to you is water. And we asked the children, right? Because each one of them connect to water in a different sense, and everyone has a different background in a community, right? And they related to water. So there are a lot of perspective comes in, and students share and debate and understood the importance of water. So on the qualitative part of it, there are a lot of the volunteers become so sensitive. And if you now see a TQI, and whenever there is a water tap leaking or something, they get really annoyed. So taking it. So that kind of sensitization came in. And when we did Thank Our Heroes Farmers, that was beautiful. So one of our volunteers' family member was a farmer. So what it has happened is that volunteer now understood what his uncle was really doing. Till now, he didn't get a chance to speak. Now he understood the importance when we went and listened to that uncle, what is farming, how he's struggling, and all those stuff. That actually created a lot of change inside him. So it's a lot of self-transformation is what we focus in our whole volunteering journey that each of the volunteers go through with doing all this kind of events.
Right. So it's mostly like making these young kids and even their families and the volunteers, all of them aware about all these issues, right?
True. There are a lot of media team also write articles. There are volunteers who made videos. So each and every talent people are there in each of the districts. When we take one cause, they take it and they project it in whatever they want. So there was one no food waste awareness. There was a big food giving event happened in a bus stand in a district, Salem district in Tamil Nadu. The whole volunteers went, and then gave food and asked people who are in need of daily foods, ask them why a food is important, 1 day meal food is important, and collected all those stories and made it into a video, and that has been started publishing in the college events. So the person, rather than we saying, don't waste food, a person who is in need of 1 day meal, when they say it, that's how that team who are good at video making, they went and did an interview and did it. So we take a cause, each volunteer's interest